Linda, and welcome to Empowering Voices. This television program is about you. We are here to provide you information about your city of Rialto and today about the city of Fontana. We have some wonderful news for you about what's going on. And we have a wonderful, amazing person today. We have Mayor Acquanetta Warren. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you here. You have an amazing city with a lot of growth. When you came in as mayor, what was the population about?
Well, keep in mind I was appointed in 2002 as a council member, and then in 8 years I ran for mayor. And originally it was, I believe, it was like 179. We're now up to 213.
Wow, it is really growing.
Oh, yes.
A huge population. As I drove by a couple of days ago, I saw a lot of new homes, a lot of business. And today you had an amazing event that you just came from.
Right. We just had OG's open up, our sports bar. So we're all excited.
Yeah, of course, of course. So you've built a lot, your city has built a lot of new businesses. So that's on the increase, right? And how do you decide and how do you bring in these businesses?
Well, we feel very strongly about our general plan. We just updated it. It was originally updated and put together as what you see today in 2000.
Oh.
It was approved in 2002, and we just had the update, and as a matter of fact, tonight we hopefully can get the approval of the development code, which basically stipulates where businesses will be. Those with interest come in, we provide that information, and we're starting to see the benefits.
So since 2002, the focus has been in the growth of the city and the improvement, which makes for a more positive economy.
Well, it's all about a balanced approach on planning. And when you have a balanced approach, you have so many things for housing. You have to make sure you have great infrastructure, and all that includes business too.
Right. So let's go back a little bit. What made you decide to go into politics, into leadership like you're in today?
For me, it started when I was in the 4th grade.
4th grade?
Based on issues.
You were just a little tot there.
Right, exactly. And my parents were from Birmingham, Alabama. They were involved with the civil rights movement, and they used to put us in front of the television. And our grandmother and our aunts and uncles were still there, and we wanted to keep up with things. So it was always a cause or an issue that we cared about. And so I was raised that way. Don't complain, don't cry, do something about it.
Right, right. That's wonderful. 4th grade. Wow, wow, that is great. Now, there's been many changes in the diversity, the population. Why is that? Why do we see that?
Well, first of all, people are swarming here from Los Angeles County and Orange County. And we're starting to see more from San Diego County because of the housing pricing.
Oh, okay.
And then the job market has really opened up in Fontana.
Oh, it has, huh?
Most people think it's just warehouses, but more manufacturing. So those bring some pretty good paying jobs to the table. So families, they want to go where they can work, where they can play, and where they can learn.
And where they can afford.
That too.
Yes, because of the houses. I mean, the rates up like in, I don't want to bring down LA County.
It's terrible. You can't.
You can't rent.
No, I grew up in Los Angeles. It has become so difficult to raise your families in LA.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. And I believe that's possibly why we have so much homelessness.
Well, I don't want to blame all that on that. There's a number of factors why there's homelessness.
Why don't you give us a few of them?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think people are realizing what happens to people when they get so disenfranchised and no longer even want shelter. Our police department has been doing much outreach in the last couple of years, making sure that they don't criminalize homelessness. And in discussing with those people, a lot of them don't even want to help. So now we're trying our best to cater and work closely with the chronic homeless so that we can get their trust and get them back under shelter.
Okay, so a lot of times I've heard the saying that says some people are one paycheck away from the street, from the homeless situation.
Right, but we've been very fortunate in Fontana. We have a church, Water of Life. I attend there.
Mm-hmm.
16,000 members. They invest in our community every year, and they also help people from Rialto and San Bernardino.
Wonderful.
And they're actually preventing families from being homeless. They feed over 1,000 families a week.
Now, what is this called again?
It's called CityLink.
CityLink.
Several years ago, the former mayor, Mark Noemi, and myself were invited by Pastor Danny Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Texas, and we actually fellowshipped with other churches and civic leaders throughout the United States, huge churches that needed to link services with the city. We came back, we put our heads together and decided, let's get a building, and they were able to get that from the old Fontana Water Company's building. And now they do case work in those buildings. People can come and get clothing, food. All of the charitable events come out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole idea of supplementing a family to keep them from going homeless is what their big charter is.
I see. Now, are there also programs that perhaps train them to be independent and be able to be working individuals?
Well, we also work with the County Workforce Board. They have provided training for people that are looking for jobs.
Uh-huh.
And all those services come under a program that the police department sponsors called CAP, Community Active Participation. And they bring the nonprofits in, and it provides a place for people to come together and get information.
Okay.
But this caseworker program at CityLink was where they take someone and they stay with them for 12 months and help them through the different programs.
I see.
And they work closely with the County of San Bernardino.
Okay.
County of San Bernardino has really stepped up in terms of Department of Behavioral Health.
Mm-hmm.
One of the issues people don't want to talk about when it comes to homelessness is mental illness.
Right. Oh, we have a lot of that.
Yeah, and that's, you got to ask yourself, some of the conditions people live in,
Mhm.
how is that? And it does go back to mental health in some
Right.
cases.
Right. Do you find also the drug situation, is it something that they go to kind of like self-medication?
Well, in some cases, but not all.
Uh-huh.
You know, when you have been in and out of jail and your family's tired and nobody wants to help you get to that next step,
Right.
you got to have programs that people fit and get you where you are.
Right.
And that's what I'm starting to see out here. In LA, the problem is such a magnitude. I'm not really
Oh.
sure how they are going to address that. The laws at the state level, they keep saying do housing, but everything that they put on the books keeps us from doing housing.
Right.
So more and more we have to be more creative. How we get people off the street right away. We call it rapid rehousing. We just recently hired a consultant to help us with the chronic homeless.
Yes.
And the families, we're trying to reach out, do you need help? How we can help them. And we're all trying to come together and work to make sure that we don't see an increase in homelessness.
Right, right. It's really unfortunate when you drive by and you see the tents
Yes,
and the dogs,
Mhm.
tied up.
right.
That's another issue that really concerns me.
Yeah, but that's a subculture that has been established through that homeless community.
Mhm.
I've had a chance to interact with a lot of homeless people, and they have told me they're happy. They're okay with their lifestyle. They don't have the overhead, they don't have the bills,
Right.
they don't have the rules or the structure, and they don't want them. But there are a lot of them that want to get help.
Right.
And so we should be providing that so they can move on.
Right. There's a couple of groups that I'm aware of that have training programs to teach the individuals how to dress. They help them with clothing and how to interview. And the big component that people are working with, these different groups, is anger management.
Well, that's all part of what Department of Behavioral Health offers.
Uh-huh.
But one of the things I think is key is that we make sure our young people don't go down that path. We established the Fontana Mayor's Education Coalition. We had our first training on Saturday. 60 students came together at Acquanetta, where they were actually trained by the business community on what some call soft skills. I call them livelihood skills, how to look people in the eye, how to shake hands, how to dress properly for interviews. We need to start at a younger age to start
Yes.
training our
Yes.
young people to be job ready. We
That's true.
recognize not everyone's going to college.
No.
These school districts brag about 8% of their kids are going to college. Where's the 92%?
Right.
So we're trying to get people focused in that direction. We're serviced by 5 school districts, and we're trying to do programming to help our kids, no matter if they're in public school, charter school, or religious schools. I can't be the mayor for just one group. I have
That's
to be the
right.
mayor for all.
For all the people. That's
Right.
right. So they have the technical training
Right.
to teach them about the different job.
Well, we actually connected our chamber, which is a very successful chamber in the region. They actually are bringing the business community to the classroom to help these kids get these skills.
Oh, in the high schools.
Right.
Oh, wonderful.
So this program is it's a test we're
Uh-huh.
doing, but based on the success, we hope to roll it out to more districts.
Right.
And so we started with Chapin Union District. They came up with the idea, working with our Fontana Chamber, working with our other partners, and Saturday it happened. So they're going to be there for a couple of Saturdays, I think about 6 to 7 Saturdays. So
Wow.
I'm looking forward to the results.
Right. And you're also in a big capacity working with a lot of construction.
Mm-hmm.
So you work with the construction unions.
Right, absolutely. We work with BIA. BIA put together a construction program. You know,
Right.
we don't have framers, we don't have plumbers, we don't have journeymen anymore. We've got to start bringing our kids to the skills. And the
Absolutely.
schools fight it because they've been trained on it. You go to college or you don't matter.
Right.
Or it's not necessarily you don't matter, there's no path for you.
Right.
So we're trying to change that. And we've got to get our parents to stop telling their kids, you're nothing unless you're a doctor or a lawyer.
Right.
You make a lot of money doing plumbing.
Oh, yes.
So last time at my State of the City,
Mhm.
I made a effort to tell people that it is my goal to make sure that all our kids are job ready, whether they're going to the service,
Mhm.
they're going to get married, they're going to go to college, or wherever their dreams take them. Let's make them job ready so they can take care of themselves.
Right.
Which
Absolutely.
in fact stops this cycle of being homeless.
That's right. It really is. And there is not too much money to, let's say, the welfare situation. It no longer really exists, does it?
Well, it does, but look at the food stamp program.
Yeah.
Most of the counties in the state of California are behind in what they offer for food stamps. They cannot get people to sign up for them. CalFresh is having a real problem. They just had an article last week about that.
They can't get people to sign up for them.
Right.
What are you
people,
saying?
They have a benchmark that they've established.
Oh, I
and
see.
people
Yeah.
are not signing up for those programs.
Oh, are they? Is it because they're not qualified, or they don't believe?
Well,
that,
the days of the marketing that we saw in the past
Uh-huh.
have passed. We need to start innovating our methods by the way we reach out. I'm working right now trying to get an intern to help me do more civic engagement, where
okay.
we bring the public in, better explain servicing for them.
Educate them as to the benefits that they could receive.
Right, exactly. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
People are fearful, especially our immigrant community. They're afraid they're going to give too much information. But then at the same time, when you look at the stats, we're seeing regular people that already have citizenship. They are waiting to the last minute, or they don't understand how they could get a leg up
Right.
if they would get these benefits.
Right.
And we've got to take that stigma from them.
And they're afraid, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Right,
They're
they don't understand the process.
Mhm.
But I'm seeing a change when we have these meetings and we bring people together and these resources are explained to them, people come over and they sign up.
At that point,
Right.
yes.
They don't have to, our seniors don't have to have dog food and all that.
No, no.
No. There are services for them.
I've
But
heard
we've
of
got to
many.
explain that to them.
I've heard of many seniors with the cat food,
Yeah,
eating cat food
Right.
because they're
They don't
afraid,
have the money.
and they don't know also
right.
that
They're
this
trying to
benefit-
supplement an income based on 40 years ago.
Right.
They're retired now. They're in their 60s, 70s, 80s. And we have to make sure we meet them where they are to get
Right.
those services to them.
Absolutely. You know, I'm really impressed with your desires. Your goals are what for the city of Fontana?
When I was sworn in last year in November, I swore to the community I would fix education. I think that's where it all starts.
Mhm.
And we're trying. We're working together. I'm working with the business community. We're going to be outreaching to the parents and the educators soon. We have the district superintendents there and a couple of school board members. So people are starting to embrace this idea. It's the concept of working together, unifying our efforts.
Unifying the effort.
That's
yeah.
right.
Because we have a diversified culture now.
Yes, we do. We
And
have
we need
several
to
cultures.
work together.
We have to.
We definitely.
You know, I just had the honor of going to the Burning Man,
Uh-huh.
and it was in Reno.
Oh, my son goes to that
Yeah,
all the
it's
time.
about 2 hours out of Reno.
Yeah.
And then they invited a delegation of we mayors.
Good.
And everyone, oh, you don't want to do that, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, you do.
But when I got there, I saw how you can form a city
Yes.
that all works together. And that's what we're trying to do in
Yeah.
Fontana.
Yeah. And people of all ethnicities,
That's
all
right.
color, working
The
as a team.
Art and the culture was like nothing I can describe.
Right.
The public art idea is something I've always loved, and we're starting to get more into it.
Uh-huh.
But they do it in a way that no one can match.
Oh, I understand. My son tells me all the time, Mom, you need to go.
Oh, it's
Mom, you need to
amazing.
go. And
Take your dust mask.
Yes,
But
yes.
I didn't even care about the dust.
Yes.
I just met incredible people
Uh-huh.
that were so kind.
And it's surprising because you meet actors and you
Yes.
meet leaders,
Oh, yeah.
people that you would never believe
People
would be
that
out there.
would be out there. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
Uh-huh.
We have a challenge right now. It's called Fontana Kindness Challenge.
Okay.
And I got a chance to exercise that, but to have people that don't even know me come up to me and say, can I give you a piece of corn? Or
Yeah.
can I give you a sign I made?
Oh, that's a wonderful
and I took
challenge.
lapel pins and I was able to give those out.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But in Fontana right now, we know kindness is special. We got to do it.
It's unique. You never know whose life you may be saving.
That's right.
Actually.
That's right.
Actually, yeah. Now, thinking out of the box, supposing tomorrow you receive a $1 million grant, which is not a lot of money, but it is a lot of money.
It is.
What would you want to fix first with that money?
You know, people don't understand the homeless situation.
Okay.
And I think we need to take time to explain to the neighbors that these people live next door to, that they're just like us.
They're human beings.
They're human beings. We have to be kind to them.
Yes.
And we have to be open to their needs.
Yes.
So I would spend some of that money on educating our regular public about the homeless.
Yes.
I'd spend the rest of it investing in dirt where we can build housing to
Uh-huh.
do rapid rehousing and provide the services.
Wow.
And I think if we can tackle that, we won't turn into a Los Angeles or a San Francisco where it is completely out of control. But in all fairness to them, their numbers are larger than ours are. You have millions of people living there, so you're going to have a bigger percentage of any problem. So I respect that and understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, anybody living on the street, that's one too many.
Right. Right.
One too many.
Would you? Recently, they did a count. Is that right?
That's right.
They did a count, and what are they going to do with that count?
That count assists us in helping to get federal grants.
Oh.
The funding comes through our county, and they've got a phenomenal group working, headed by our supervisor, Josie Gonzalez.
Uh-huh.
And they're working with the nonprofits to get them funding because they provide the services.
Mhm.
This is really new to cities. Cities were set up for safety. This is a major safety issue,
Right.
so it has to have major priority. But the county gets the funding with the Department of Behavioral Health, with the homeless partnerships,
Mhm.
and they just changed the format. We're down to 19 members on that group. And the cities will be actually represented by 5 representatives. So I'm hoping that focus can have our person, who is Bassine Richards from San Bernardino, the mayor pro tem. She'll have meetings with all the cities in her region.
So you're working in unity.
Right, that's the only
Okay.
way we're gonna solve this.
Yes.
We have to be unified in our effort, once again.
Right.
That's my main focus, unifying by our effort. If we unify.
Even without the $1 million.
That's right, we can do this, we can
Yes.
fix this.
Yes.
We need to work with our churches, but our churches need to work with us too.
Absolutely.
And several of them have stepped up.
Well, there is a group. Is it United Pastors?
I've heard
in San
about
Bernardino
them.
County, and they are having events
Right.
at their churches where they give out food, where they give out clothing,
Right.
they give out information about technical places where they can go
Right.
and get some help so that they can learn to be independent.
Well, see, and that's what we need. That's what we need.
I believe it's called Pastors United.
Okay.
And it's all a group of pastors, a group of churches, and they're really doing an amazing job.
Well, that's great.
And apparently it's so attended well by the communities.
And see, that's why I focus with CityLink and our churches that have
Uh-huh.
contacted me, so that we can all work together.
Absolutely.
Because we need that.
Right.
But Water of Life, they invest over $3 million a year in the community, helping.
Wow.
And other churches are doing a phenomenal job
Mhm.
too. So no one's discounted in my mind.
Right.
Everybody's trying, but we just need to continue that effort.
Absolutely.
I think we're making a difference.
Yes, you are. Now, tell me, approximately, how many homeless do you believe may be in the city of
I
Fontana?
think our last count was 260. You know, we've been really focused. The programming came for the veterans,
Right.
so they were separated. But
Mhm.
they had gotten down to hardly any in San Bernardino County. But you know, these things pop up daily.
Yeah.
So we continue to work because every day somebody gets evicted.
Mhm.
We run into families living in their cars.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, I recently saw a family in their car at Walmart. I went to
Mhm.
them and I gave them information, and I'm still following up with them.
Good.
And then I have people that email me, I need help, blah, blah, blah. We try to get them to the proper services.
Right.
Our officers are on their bikes. They interact with the community and talk to people and tell them, you don't have to be like this. We can help you. So everybody is putting their efforts together.
Now, 200 plus is not all of the people that are out there,
No.
because there's a lot that don't want to be counted.
Right. And then it's the time you count people.
Right.
The federal government and the county, they have a formula. If you get everybody between 4 and 8,
No.
but we have working poor that are on the
Mhm.
street.
Yes.
These young men and women, that you'll see them walking with their lunch,
Mhm.
and at night they're living under a tree. But they going to work.
Right.
But they can't afford, or their credit's messed up,
Mhm.
to get a place. So
Right.
there's so many subcultures
Mhm.
or sub-levels of homelessness.
And you know, for them to get a first and last and deposit.
Right, or even be accepted to do
Right.
that.
Right. To
And
be,
then you got people living on people's couches. You know, one of the
Yeah.
things for the census I've been trying to project is when we ask those questions, how many in the household, it needs to be how many are on your property. Because you have people living in garages, you have
Right.
people living under the patio, and they're
Yes.
putting canvases up, and the neighbors complain, they got 18 people living over
Right.
there.
Oh, yes.
But you know, if we don't tackle this, you're gonna see more of this.
Mhm.
So the census is very important. We're very involved in that. We call it Fontana Counts,
Right.
because we want everyone to be counted, because we have to take care of you. So
Right.
we need to make sure the federal government knows how many people we're taking care of.
Right.
So we're trying our best to cut out any barriers for
Right.
people to be afraid to come forth for
Right.
census.
And as you said, you have a lot of jobs available, so to speak, because you need plumbers, you need construction workers. Now, I went to a board meeting, and they were paying $1 per minute for
Wow.
people to work in construction, $60 an hour.
These jobs, this is the problem. People have this image that if you work with your hands or you work hard, you're not making anything.
Oh, no.
These gentlemen and ladies have been so successful in these
Yes.
skills,
Yes.
these trades, and the Workforce Board provides that training.
Right.
So we're trying our best to get our young people, go make that money, get that pension.
Right.
Don't look down on these
Right,
jobs. These
yeah.
are good paying jobs.
Yes, really. You know, and this particular union actually provides training for men and women.
Right, exactly.
You know, I know in San Bernardino they recently had a workshop where they had several stations to
Right.
show them the different types of construction, how to nail with a hammer. You know,
Right.
put a nail in the wood the proper way, how to use a tape measure.
You know, I retired as Deputy Public Works Director in the city of Upland, and I
Uh-huh.
used to run the work release program.
Ah,
And the first day, I had to show the guys and gals,
yes.
this is a shovel. You
Yes.
put your hand on the stick,
Oh, yes.
you get the dirt up. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
We're not training our young people how to sustain themselves.
You know, my husband and I got a flat the other day, you know, and I know how to change a flat.
Right.
I mean, because that, you know, I'm way back there, you know, I come from back in the 50s, 60s, and I know how to change a flat. But the first thing people do is call AAA. And that's what I do now as a senior.
Right.
You know, but if I needed to, I could.
Right.
And our children don't know how to do
No,
these
they do
things.
not. And see, we forgot the basics. That's what
Right.
it comes down to. The manufacturers that I meet with, I have the Mayor's Manufacturing, Logistic, and Transportation Council. We meet with all the CEOs. They told me straight out they couldn't hire our kids.
And we're about to close. However, I really want to touch on one thing.
Okay.
The reentry program in the prisons, we are getting more and more individuals released, men and women.
Right.
You know, and I find that people in the construction, the unions, are giving them an opportunity.
Oh, yes.
They are giving them an opportunity, even if they have a criminal history.
Right.
It's amazing.
And that's the way it should be.
Yes.
We have to stop throwing away our humans like they don't count.
Yes. Oh.
Once you have a jacket on you, it's like people don't even want to be around you.
Right.
And you just can't, our society cannot function. It can't be us and them.
Right.
It's got to be we.
Yes.
It has to be.
We have to give them an opportunity.
Right.
Our people, the homeless, the
Everybody.
reentry population, and help that person that's one paycheck away from the street.
Right.
Help them, teach them.
Unless you want to look in the morning, I walk in the morning early.
Uh-huh.
It is so hurting that when I walk past a field,
Mhm.
all these people are getting up and starting their day
Yes.
in a field.
Yes.
That's not what America was built on.
Okay,
It's
now
wrong.
I love talking to you. You are amazing.
Thank you.
And I'm sure the city of Fontana is very proud of having a mayor such as yourself. So I want to give you the opportunity to give the city of Fontana a comment about your being mayor, your feelings about it, what you want to see in the future, perhaps.
You know, I enjoy what I do. I get a chance to work with dynamic people every day.
Yes.
Our council, think we have a great team.
Uh-huh.
Our staff is phenomenal, second to none. Our police and fire, our public safety. But for me, it's the public. Just having time when I'm in the market or when I go to the park or if I go sit on people's front porch. Sometimes people call me and say, "Can you just come over?" I come over, we have tea together just to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Just to feel like, we're working all together here.
Yes.
And so for me, nobody doesn't count.
That's right.
I know I have my children always tell me, "Ma, is there anybody you're not trying to help?" No, because we can't be who we are if we have so many people suffering.
That's right.
So
Thank
for
you.
me, that's my future, just helping people.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm so proud of you.
Proud of you too. Thanks for
I am
having me.
so proud of you. I want to tell you, we had an exciting guest, didn't we? Yes, Empowering Voices is here for you. And Fontana, Rialto, know that we have wonderful mayors here in the Inland Empire, and we look forward for you to give information to one of your friends about what you saw today. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.